Boo niggas.
Welcome back. We missed you guys so much. I
Hey.
have so much to talk about. But before we do that, make our formal reintroduction.
You are now tuned into Decadent Conversations. I'm your host, Shay Butter. This is my lovely co-host.
Brown sugar.
Welcome back. Okay, Cherry, can I have a hug? I know you don't like niggas touching you, but I ain't seen you so long in real life and
Okay,
in the
okay, okay.
metaverse. Give me some love, bitch. How you been?
I've been good. I've been so good. I've been so good. So many things happen. I'm not gonna talk about all of them. We'll be here all day. You know, I can talk. But
Just give us some highlights.
okay, so all right, I went on a couple trips. I went to Ensenada, did tequila tasting. You know, that's kind of like a party type of city. It was a cruise. The family was there. That was awesome. I just had a great time on the cruise. I was in the jacuzzi with a bunch of strangers. I still don't know who they are, but that was fun. I came back
Hold
and
on a
then went to.
second.
Mhm.
Cause one thing y'all don't know about Cherry is she gonna make a friend. That's what she gonna do. She do not have to know you at all. She will talk to your ass and make a friend. So that strangers,
Right.
that sound right up her alley.
Yeah, so I was in a jacuzzi with a jacuzzi full of strangers. That was fun. I came back and then I went to Cabo. I absolutely love Cabo. The food in Cabo was just absolutely amazing. I had deep fried avocados, which sounds strange, but when I tell you it was so fire, I mean the food there was just so good. I mean, we eat a lot of Mexican food in California, but each state apparently has their own like twist or
Hmm.
cuisine, and Cabo is up there like it was just good. I would definitely go back to Cabo. It was more of a relaxing feel versus, Ensenada and some of the other cities are more Cancun is more like turn up party. Cabo was like relaxed, fine dining, some wine. Like, I can appreciate all of it, but I really enjoyed myself. And then I came back. I hadn't really been dating very much, but I came back. I'm just, oh boy. I just tell you this. California got a homeless problem, but these hobosexuals is out of control. They out of control. So if y'all don't know what a hobosexual is, it's the man who basically don't have a permanent residence that's like homeless. And they use these tactics to basically get women to get them to live there, right? So it's not the hobo we grew up with or the bum or the homeless person that we grew up with. It's not the stinky old man on the corner no more. Okay. So I was like, because this keep happening to me, I was like, damn, what is it about me that is attracting hobosexuals? But I looked up the stats. Black people only 8 or 9% of the population here, but we're a third of the homeless population. So our numbers are ridiculous. So I'm like, damn, okay, so that's part of it, but it doesn't look the same. So a lot of them, they're clean. They may get, a membership somewhere so they can go take showers. They may have a situation where they stay at friends' house and family houses here and there. But the tactics that they use is number one, they look cool. Like I saw one time I was driving down the street going to my grandmother's house and I saw a little tent city. We used to just have the tent cities downtown where they had these tents that they live
It's
in.
all
But
throughout
this is
Southern
in a
California. All throughout Southern
right.
Cali.
I saw this guy unzip his tent, come out the tent, and hop into a Lexus. He was clean. You couldn't have told me that man was homeless. So this is what we dealing with. So, long story short, right, for real. So long story short, it was a guy, to try to talk to me every time you see this guy, he fly from head to toe, all of that. I mean, just be looking fly. just all the time at all the parties, everything. But what they do is they try to love bomb you. They call, they're
Mm.
consistent. They want to take you out. Oh, I want to come over and fix stuff, all this stuff. So you're like, oh my God, this is the perfect person. You know what I mean? Like, and then they start with the. I know the signs though, cause my ex, I feel like he fell under that homosexual situation. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he was kind of part of that, so I kind of know the signs. So initially, I didn't pick up on it because the guy he has a job, and but that he doesn't have a permanent residence, which is it's hard in California, but whatever the case may be. But he's
Nah,
just
fuck
like,
all that is hard shit because it is hard in California, but you've been doing this shit for a long time. And even though I may not, I missed the whole getting the house phase because it's just out
right,
of control now. I still have a place. Even though
yes,
I rent my 1 bedroom, it's mine. It's
yeah,
my name
it's
that's on the
yours,
lease,
right,
nobody else's.
right,
So I
right.
don't want to hear that shit. We out here making it happen every day. And I'm past that point in my life where I should even be entertaining somebody that does not have a place to live that is
But you
theirs.
don't know. That's my whole thing. It's like when you are talking to these people, you don't know because it doesn't look like it used to look 20, 30 years ago. It looks like everybody else that you go out with. You know, they have a car, they might have a job or whatever the case may be. But here's the sign. They do and say everything right. The second sign is usually they try to. So here's the thing. Here are the signs. First thing they're gonna do is shower you with like compliments. They're gonna say everything that's the right thing. They're gonna go out of their way to do everything. They're gonna be consistent. All the things that they've heard women tell them to do over the years, they're collecting that data and implementing that. So you think that this is just a wonderful, great person. And in some respects, they could. Just because you're unhoused doesn't mean you're not cool. Just not cool for me, right? So that's one thing. And the second thing is they try to come up with ways of how they can get over to your place. And that was another thing that would kind of like threw me off because the guy was like, oh, you working on your garage? Why you didn't call me? I would have helped you, right? Which that seems innocent. That seems like a nice thing to do. And generally speaking, that would be fine. I would look at that as a positive. But every turn, I said, well, I don't let men come to my house unless it's like that. You know what I mean? Unless we've established a certain level, you don't come to my house. So after three or
Right.
four times of me telling you that, and you still trying to come up with ways of how you can be in my space, now I'm looking at you sideways. So how I found out that the dude was a homosexual is because he was like, damn, my auntie has COVID, so I can't go to her house. And he told me he lived with him and his cousin were roommates. I said, well, why? I mean, don't you live with your cousin? Just go where you normally go. And he said, well, I've been calling him and he's not answering the phone. So, okay, so you don't have a key, so you really don't live there. You
Yeah.
just crash there sometimes. So you
Mhm.
live with your auntie, right? So the auntie had COVID and everybody in the house had COVID. And so he couldn't go there, right? So he's like, well, I got a question for you. And I'm like, oh, what's that? And he was like, but since, I'm having all of these problems, can I just crash over there for tonight?
No.
I've
Oh,
never even let you come
hell
over.
no.
You think I'm gonna let what? I'm like, nah, I'm straight. I'm straight.
I I
I was just like, what? And so then I said, well, I was like, so what you about to do then? Because a normal person, if it really was a situation where their primary residence had people living in it with COVID, you go to another relative house or you get your room. Like adults have solutions like that. So he was like, I don't know, but I could tell he was about to lay down in that car. And I'm not like
listen.
shaming homeless people because I don't be knowing everybody's story, but a lot of times like men be so worried about women using them for dinner. We gotta worry about them trying to love bomb us into living with us. They'll stay and do
No,
anything.
that's what I'm saying. And so even with me and dating, to be honest with you, Of course, I'm not just letting any Tom, Dick, and Harry over to my place or anything like that. But when we get to that point where I'm inviting you over to my personal space, I already decided, you know what? If I'm dealing with somebody and I can't go to their place, I don't
Hmm.
need to be dealing with you. And I don't care
Yeah.
what that reason is. I can't go to your place because you got somebody and you lied about it, or I can't go to
Yeah.
your place because
Hmm.
you don't have one. No,
That's a
I'm
good
too
point.
old for that.
That's a good
I'm too
point.
old for that at this stage. So
Hmm.
we're not even gonna play those type of games. I don't require much, but we got to at least be on the same playing field. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's just
That,
where
but
I'm
that's
at with
that
it.
them. Yeah, and I would imagine that a lot of women that are in California, at least, are probably dealing with that. You know what I mean? We have a really bad problem with homelessness. We don't need to get back into that again. But other states drop their homeless off here because this is where the homeless, I guess, is. It's sunny all year round. You know, it's different reasons. We give general relief. We're one of the few states left that give general relief checks. So between all of those factors, we have a large homeless population plus the cost of living and all that. But just watch out for those love bombers and the ones with the story where I'm about to get kicked out. I just need to stay here for a month until. That's how my ex got me. We were already together, messing around and everything, and he was like, it's a situation happened in my apartment. Can I just stay here for a month until I get my next one? Well, I'm a kind person. We're in a relationship, so I'm like, I don't really feel comfortable with living with anybody. But if it's just for a few weeks, then that's what it need to be. But I'm not being hard about it because I'm not knowing this is tactic the whole time. That turned into what it turned into and escalated out of control and was the worst person I ever dated in my entire life. So I'm cautious and careful and pay attention and don't let nobody in my house until it's like that. You know what I'm saying? So that homosexual, watch out for the love bombing. They say do anything and everything you need because they want you to fall in love real fast so they could try to figure out how they gonna ease up in your crib. Like I don't even be telling people. I live with my mama.
Well,
I live in the studio. I rent a room. I just be making up stuff at this point because I don't want you to think you can come stay with me.
I'm gonna start telling niggas I live with you. Nah, for real. I want to circle back on something. You was talking about how much fun you had in Mexico. Why we ain't been to Mexico together? Matter of fact, we ain't even been on a trip together. The one trip we was supposed to take together, you flaked, and it was me and your
Where?
homegirl. She didn't flake. I think she had to do something with her daughter. I don't know if your daughter was graduating then or something was going on
Where
with your
we supposed
baby.
to go?
We were supposed to go to DC. Me, you, and your homegirl.
Oh yeah, something happened that time, but it wasn't a flake. Something happened. I don't remember what it was, but we can. I stayed
And
down for a trip.
And now you going with your homegirl to Africa and y'all haven't even invited me.
First of all, it's not my trip. It's not my trip. It was X number of slots. I wasn't part of the planning committee. I got asked the question, and of course I was like, yeah. So
She
that's it.
couldn't wait to text me and be like, me and Whoopsie will going to Africa.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? We could definitely plan a trip somewhere. That would be fun. Mexico is definitely fun. When I think about how you are, I think you more of a Cancun than a Cabo girl. But I mean, you could appreciate Cabo for sure. But I think you're more of a Cancun girl.
I'm wherever the
Yeah.
good food is at.
Yeah, I mean, all of it is good food. Or, I haven't been to Tulum, so maybe we'll consider Tulum. They
But
said
look,
Tulum. Hmm.
don't they be doing that like black it's you been to one of them cuz
Oh, the
your
jump
ass
off.
is yeah,
Yeah, the Cancun jump
fast
off.
ass.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
cracking,
so
cracking.
don't they got we should try to do that next year.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I will look into it. We'll look into it because I did have fun, and the Cancun jump off. I will tell you, the entire African diaspora was there, honey. It was,
Yeah.
it was, shoot, everybody from all over the United States. You had people from Africa. You had people from the Caribbean. Oh, and the Haitians. I didn't know. I didn't even know. it was, it was
Yeah, so I'm trying
Dominicans,
to.
Haitians. it was
Here she
it was
go.
just like, and I'm gonna tell you who came the hardest and was looking the best outside of some of the ones from the US was them brothers from London. They came from London. I was like, oh, we got to take a trip.
Yeah, we gotta go to the
they
UK anyway because I want to see Fifi ass.
Yeah, we gotta go
Um,
see Fifi.
but
that was
okay,
maybe
we,
that'll be
we
the trip, but we'll work it out.
okay, and just a little update about me. So I had like I can't consider it a major surgery, but I feel like anytime they cutting on your body and it's not for cosmetic, well, shit, even if it is for cosmetic, they cutting
That's
on
major.
you. The bodies ain't supposed to be cut on and parts taken down and stitched back together. You playing with your life when you do stuff like that. But the surgery was needed for me. I've been recovering well. I had a little bit issues, but the doctor said that I'm recovering fine. Hopefully these fibroids don't come back. They also said
I'm
they
so
was
happy you better.
non-cancerous. That was good. Um, and that's all that's been going on with me. So I ain't been able to do too much because I had to sit still, and it's like messed up because I'm naturally a homebody, but when you're like forced to sit
Yeah,
still, it's like, well,
right.
I want to get out and do some shit because why I got to stay
Yeah,
at home. So
yeah. You
but
were trying to get out.
and then it's funny because when I went to the doctor today, he was like, "In no sex for 4 more weeks." I wanted to tell him like, "I'm not sexually active right now." I almost shed a tear. So you ain't got to worry about that shit. Anyway,
oh my
okay.
god.
So there are some
Wait, one
things.
more really opposite of that. Anyway, so he wanted to do the coffee meet and greet situation. I'm like, cool, let's make it around the corner from the house, right? First, he said he wanted to take a walk. Then he said he wanted to go to the coffee house. So I'm like, oh, this fool. And he said, well, I want to take a walk because it's good exercise. Um, I walk all the time and all this stuff, right? And then I do some calisthenics after that. Here go the kicker though. He fat. So you lying. The proof is in your belly. You lying. I'm talking about he fat, his neck fat, he fat. No, no shade to, the pluses and stuff. But you know what I mean? But at the same time, like keep it a buck. Like I'm not skinny. I'm not about to sit here and act like, I'm on my fitness tip where I'm just working out every single day. When no, you not. And how I know when we at Starbucks, while we sitting there at Starbucks, he like, you ever eat breakfast here? I was like, I get the croissant sandwich sometimes. He's like, oh, those right there are good. I'm like, which one? He like the six in the corner because they got them on display.
Bitch,
He said
stop. I
he
can't
said the
laugh
six
that
in the
much.
corner.
I'm
He,
recovering. Stop.
he
Stop
said the
it.
six in the corner. I said all six. He said I tried all of them except for the burrito, but I'm gonna try that next time. He was like, also that coffee cake right there. He started telling me about the snacks. But you're gonna sit here in front like you just be exercising like that and you really just be walking every day. Stop lying. You was trying not to spend money. Then I was like, I was irritated. So then I left that and I was hungry. Now I'm hungry, so now I gotta go get something to eat. I was on a quasi date and I'm still hungry, so now I'm pissed off because I'm hungry. And I know guys are like entitled, like I'm not entitled to a guy spending their money on food or whatever, but that pisses me off. So then I went and got something to eat. So I get back home, he texts me, he gonna say, uh, so what you doing now? I said, well, I had to go get something to eat because I was hungry after our meet and greet.
Why
And
did
so
you
then he
even
goes,
answer him? You weren't
girl,
interested. He would have been blocked. He would have been blocked during the meet and greet. So I'm not interested. So I'm finna block your ass. Cause don't contact me. And on
Yeah,
top
then
of
he
that,
gonna
like
say what
I've
you got
never known
on.
you to date like dudes, and nothing is wrong with dating a big dude, but I know that's not your preference. So when you seen them pictures online, like what pictures did you
No,
see?
this is the thing. Well, see, that's not completely true. I'm cool with a big dude, but it gotta be a Right. I'm cool with a big dude.
How
Have
long
that
have I
been
known you now? How long have I known you now?
like 6, 7 years?
I've never seen you with a big dude. Your niggas be fit or skinny with big dicks.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I'm done. Anyway, he asked me, what am I wearing? And I was like, food. He was like,
So
what
you
you
was wearing
mean?
food?
No, I told him I was wearing food because I don't want to talk to you because I was hungry. I was trying to eat. So then after that, I didn't talk to him no more. But it just pissed me off because you're going to lie and say you walk every day, you be exercising. I hate you so much.
Can we move on now? Can we
Yeah,
move
now we
on
can
now,
move
please?
on. Now we can, I
Thank
opened that
you.
can.
So there's been some stuff going on, like I can't call it news, but I wish we could do quotation marks because I just tried to do that. Anyway,
It looked like a quote.
uh
This was a quote, right?
anyway, there's been some things going on social media. The first one I want to highlight, since we on like we talking about laughter, the comedian Monique. You
Mhm.
know that first what happened is that years back she got blackballed by Lee Daniels. So we
Mhm.
didn't really see her in too many things. And then after that, she was like buzzing around social media because she wanted Netflix to pay her what she felt was worth. And I get that. No shade to that, but it seemed like she always in some type of drama, and how she
Yeah.
speaks is kind of condescending and things of that. But
Mhm.
good news for her is Netflix is finally paying her what she feels she deserves, and she has a comedy special coming up. So I'm all
I
about
feel
black
like it's
women
gonna be
doing their
whack though.
thing. You think it's gonna be whack? Why you think it's gonna
She's
be
not
whack?
really that fun. She ain't been funny since the Parkers.
You think so?
Okay, you think you gonna watch 2 hours of Monique?
Nigga, it's free on Netflix.
It's not free. We pay for it, whatever them fees. Now you know Netflix going up on their fees.
Yeah, well, you could call me a hobo, sapien, sexual, whatever. I use my mama's Netflix. I pay for
Oh, that's
Hulu. She
okay.
pays
I
for
used to
Netflix.
use one. I used one of my students for like 10 years, and now I use my homegirl, so it's all
And I
right.
use your Zeus. And everybody always be like, how you got Zeus? I be like, I don't know. But I will get my ratchet fix. Y'all be watching Zeus? It is so Zeus is like
It's too
that nigga.
ratchet.
Zeus is that nigga for all the ratchetivity TV shows that you could
Oh
ever
my
fucking dream.
God, my
If you like
nieces be
ratchet
trying to
TV
watch
like I
that.
do, because I like to watch that bullshit. I don't want to be around that bullshit, but I like to watch it. Because they be acting the fool.
Mm-mm.
And if you gonna act the fool, I'm gonna watch y'all act the fool, because that's what y'all there to do. Y'all need to get Zeus. Anyway, back to
Mm-mm.
Monique. I, I I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I'll probably
I'ma
roll a
try.
J, sip some drink, and watch it. Or maybe it'll be in the background while I'm doing something. I
Mm-mm.
want to watch it, but if
But you
she gets
think
to
she
shading
funny?
DL and stuff again, um, I've never watched a full comedy set of hers, like when it was just her by herself. It's always been her with somebody else, and I've watched it. She's
Mm-mm.
changed over the years because she gets to calling people baby and my babies, and I don't like that she refers to her husband
Mm-mm.
as daddy. Like
Yeah.
it's
All the
like, I mean,
time
what you
though.
do in the bedroom, exactly, because what you do in the
Right.
bedroom is your business, but it's all the time.
All the
Like
time.
publicly, this is daddy. I don't know what type of hold that man got on her. I thought it was in an open relationship. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
give a
they
fuck.
are.
But I'm 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 gonna tune in and see what she's talking about. I'm at least give it a try.
I probably will for a second, but realistically speaking, Monique is not that funny like that. I'm not like, oh, Monique got a new special. I want to watch. I'm gonna watch because she made all this fuss. Her ass better be funny. That's how I feel. It's like more pressure for her to be funny because she is not that. She really ain't been that funny since the Parkers. It's like, and not only that, she get too preachy. Her and Steve Harvey, no, like, no, I don't even like being around. When I meet a guy and he gets to talking like Steve Harvey, like, don't nobody want to hear that Steve Harvey shit. Don't nobody want to hear that Monique. No, if I want to talk to an auntie, I'll call an auntie.
Well, Monique,
My
I'm gonna
auntie's
watch your
funnier than
shit.
her.
I'm gonna watch your shit. If you ever need me to open up for you, know that I didn't
Mm-mm.
say you weren't funny.
Mm-mm.
That was Cherry. So
I said you ain't. I ain't thought she was funny since the Parkers. So we'll see. Maybe she done got some material all these years. She was blackballed because when people go to jail, they be coming out with hits. So maybe since she been blackballed, she got some material.
You going hard. Your ass is going hard. You really do not fuck with Monique. Okay.
No.
Well, there's that.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing that I've been seeing getting some buzz is there is actually something called Sesame Place. Not Sesame Street, but Sesame Place. I don't know, and I probably should have looked this up. My bad, y'all, that I didn't. I don't know if Sesame Place is an actual TV series, but I know that the Sesame Place that they're referring to is in Philadelphia, and they were like at a parade or something like that. Sesame Place was doing a parade or one of their shows, whatever the fuck they do for the kids. And all the kids was out there with their parents, kids of all different shades, races, whatever. And the characters were going three different things happened. One of the characters was slapping high five with all of the kids except when they got to the black kids, they were skipping them and not giving them high fives or
Damn.
low fives. Yeah. One even like did they hand like this as like, when you used to play with your friends, like, psych, like that, like, oh, you ain't
Right.
about to touch me. One even did that to one of the
Oh
black
my
kids.
God.
So Sesame Place had came up with a statement and was like, sometimes our characters, we may not see everybody because they're in that costume and the kids are small and blah blah blah. Nah, it was clear that they were doing all of that to the black
It was
kids.
intentional. Right.
Shit got worse. Another character walked up to a little black girl and bumped her with with his stomach. She fell over. We don't know what that's about. My homeboy tried to tell me, yeah, but I'm not saying it's true, but sometimes those maybe they didn't see the kid. Maybe they didn't see the kid because the kid's so tiny. I'm like, nah, that character bumped that little kid. And then the one that did it for me, I don't know the characters' names, but another
Mm-hmm.
character that was giving people high fives slapped a black kid in his or her
Oh
face.
my God. That's a white supremacy group. Like
Then they had the nerve to release
covering
a
like they
statement
with Sesame.
saying, I'm sorry, we take this type of stuff seriously, blah,
The
blah,
Bulls
blah.
crap statement. Mm-mm.
Nah, one of them, first of all, they lucky that one of them parents didn't get to scuffling with them characters because that's what I was
What state
expecting to
was this?
see. Philly.
I'm surprised because Philly with the business. I'm surprised they let that slide because if that had been LA, it'd have been a
It'd have been
problem.
going down.
It'd have been
It'd have been
a
going down.
Sesame Street brawl.
Yeah.
Sesame Place brawl. That's what would happen. Shoot.
I feel like
Dang,
they need to do due diligence and find out who those families were. Fuck releasing a public apology to everybody. You need to release apology to them. You need to do something to compensate them because that was
Yeah.
clearly racial wrong. First of all, you shouldn't even be putting your hands on nobody. You ain't slapping
Right.
nobody else either. That
That's
motherfucker need
assault.
to be fired. Fuck some
Yeah.
diversity training. Y'all gotta stop running to that and using that as an excuse or a scapegoat. People know exactly what the fuck they be doing.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
intentionally treating black kids wrong.
Yeah. That's crazy. I gotta look that one up because that's just foul and I don't appreciate it at all. And I just think about
Yeah.
like I think about the kids in my family. They probably would have kicked them or something. Like
Yeah.
they wouldn't have took it easily and lightly. They'd have all grouped up and did something.
It
I
was
done
it
seen
was
them
mm,
attack somebody that was out of line, and that was the other family member. So yeah, I mean, that's messed up, and it's unfortunate our kids have to go through things like that. And I hope that something bigger comes out than the little punk uh p- publicity stunt statement that they had. That's not cool at all.
tried to they lucky they ain't getting sued because I would try to sue their ass.
You already know. That's what I'm saying. They would have had a fight and a lawsuit if it had been here. But
Hmm.
that's why I'm surprised because Philly with the business. So I'm kind of surprised that there wasn't more like uproar behind it. So hopefully something will come out of it to kind of reconcile that where it won't happen again and that those children are compensated. So, so what we talking about today?
Um, now was it the you wanted to talk about the other woman or what?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so one of the reasons that this came up for me was
I'm sorry,
well, huh?
Pennsylvania,
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Ain't that Philadelphia?
Why did I think it's bitch? I don't know.
They don't teach geography at Los Angeles Unified.
But I can read though.
We can
I
read.
can read
We went to
damn
good
good.
schools, so we know how to read. But
Oh yeah, that is in Pennsylvania. Okay.
I thought so. See,
So you got to keep you a smart friend. I'm glad I'm friends with a
I'm like,
teacher.
I thought that was it. I thought that was. But I had to question it. Like, isn't it?
All
That's
right. My bad.
hilarious.
Go ahead, girl.
It's not. So yeah, this came up for a couple reasons. One reason it came up was I I have a friend. We'll just say a friend. I have a friend, and she was talking about um her husband wanted to take her on a trip, and she told her husband no. She wanted to stay home with the kids, and that she'll start taking trips with him when the kids are up and gone, which is like at least 10 years from now, right? And I was like, oh wow, so he don't even matter. He don't matter. He's a non-factor. She was like, he'll live. And so then I said, well, I don't have no husband, so I don't have no mountain to stand on to give no type of advice. But knowing some women who are like side pieces or have been the other woman and things like that, it made me think about some of the things that guys say. I don't excuse cheating. I don't condone it, nothing like that. But I do feel like people can increase the probability of that happening sometimes by completely depriving their partner of whatever their needs are. So, that's one of the things that made me think about it because when, if you saw this friend's husband, he's really good looking. He's a good looking guy. He's a good father. He's a good provider. And, respectfully, nobody looking twice at her. You know what I mean? So just from a looks perspective, you know, that's a how do you put it? Mismatch. You know what I mean? They whatever their
Mhm.
relationship is their relationship. I'm sure they got some type of really strong bond, but it'll be nothing for him to start over. Just based
Right.
on he has his stuff together. He's a good guy. I don't know the ins and outs. I'm not there. But just the response of like he's a non-factor. I can see a situation like that, how a guy would be more likely to be in a situation where he's at work and, is some woman who is throwing themselves at them, and how that can sometimes unfold because of primary needs not being met, right? So again, I don't condone nothing, and you should talk to your spouse and work out whatever, and it's no excuse for cheating, all that. But I just can understand how sometimes those things can like unfold. So in talking with I have another friend who that's all she messed with is married men. She just messed with married men. And so I said, well, I asked her, like, why? And she said almost like the other part to that. She was like, well, for one thing, they're very intentional and they make sure they go out of their way to make sure that your needs are met. You know, they are gonna call you, they're gonna make sure that they give you things, they're gonna make sure they spend time with you, they're gonna be very intentional, whatever they say, they're gonna do, and all that stuff. You know, now the flip side of that is ain't no future in that. You know, and you
Right.
hurting families. You could be potentially tearing families apart. And on top of that, that side chick doesn't have a responsibility that the wife has. So she's not having to pay bills. She's not having to deal with whatever he's dealing with when he's sick or he's depressed. Like all those things that, you know, wives do to like hold their husbands up. They don't have to do those things. So it's easy. It's like being the fun parent, right? That you visit
Mm-hmm.
and go to Disneyland with. You don't have the real responsibility. So it's easy for you to do that. So my thing about, you know, like all that is like, I feel like when it comes down to it, like I'm not married, so I don't have the solutions. And as far as, you know, and maybe in the future we can have like a married woman, you know, to come on. But when I was in Cabo, there was a group of ladies there with me that was part of the group. And those ladies, I was so happy that I was there with them because almost all of them were married or like at a point of engagement or about to get married, like almost all of
Happily
them.
married though,
Happily. But I will
because
say
that makes a difference.
well, that's why I was happy that I was there with them, because I was able to get some perspective, because I was explaining to them some of my fears about marriage, and then they were talking about some of their ups and downs. And I really appreciated the feedback like that they gave, because a lot of times I run into married women that's either A, unhappy, or B, fronting like they happy, but I know the real, or you know the other, you know, and then you got some that they don't really, you know, talk about it as much, or it's not a real marriage because they both doing something different, you know. But in that situation, based on what they said, based on the things they discussed, and I believe them, you know, they all seem to be in relatively happy marriages, and you know, talked very highly about their husbands, their family, but they talked about some of the ups and downs that they've gone through the years. And these are women who have been married for a long like period of time. And we even talked about like, you know, cheating, like is cheating a deal breaker? And one of the ladies, she said that it wasn't a deal breaker. She told her husband that cheating wasn't a deal breaker, but that if he cheated, that gave her permission to cheat as well. And he didn't believe her, and they went through what they went through, but she made a believer out of him. They worked it out, and they ended up, you know, being back together because they realized ain't shit out here in these streets. He realized it and she realized it too, and so they worked out their problems, kept their family together. And I was happy that she was transparent with me about, like, you know, that struggle, because people be fronting and lying. And the reality is the older women should be talking to the younger women about A, how to love their mate or their husband, and B, keeping it real about how to deal with real problems instead of saying some cliche stuff or pretending like they got it together or they ain't never been through nothing. So I really appreciate that group of ladies. They gave me some hope. You know, they really gave me some hope in terms of, you know, what can be based on the things that they told me. Also, shout out to Epic Worldwide Travel. That was the company that I actually did that trip through, and she does amazing trips. She's professional and awesome. So you look her up. Shout out to her.
Yo, I want to say something about what you just said, though. You said that the older women should be putting the younger women up on game, and that's all true and all. And I'm not trying to play tit for tat and say who should do what, and men don't this, men don't that. But I read something online the other day that grabbed me because it said, okay, sis, and this is kind of different, but it's a point behind it. It said, okay, sis, so you've done all that work. You went to therapy, you changed some things about you. You looked on the inside and made sure the inside looked as good at the outside. But then while you've done all that work, none of these men have changed. You're right back out
Mm.
there, and then the cycle continues. So that makes sense to me because it's like when we try to be the best woman that we can be, not only for ourselves, but so that we can attract a mate worthwhile. What's the point if the men are not doing the work?
I think we need to. I think. Well, for me, I just have to be hopeful that I just have to be hopeful that I will attract that, and that will come to me. I have to keep that hope that that will eventually happen, and that God will position me in the right place for the right people. Because if it was just about being married, that's what a lot of guys don't realize. Every woman know a couple men that if she just said and did what she know that they want you to say and do, they can get a proposal in a year or two. So if it's
Yes.
just about getting married, I know two or three I could just play the role with for a minute to get a ring. So it's not about that. I want something significant, a real like life partner, because I see some people been married. Oh, we've been married this amount of years, but they husband on back page, you know what I'm saying, or they literally are doing whatever the case may be, and it's like I don't need that just to say I got a ring. So I want
Girl, but
something
even the
significant.
ones that are happy, even the ones that are happy could have shit going on in their marriage that they don't even know about it because, and this goes for men and women, the partner
Hmm.
doing it so goddamn good, the
Hmm.
other partner don't know what's going on. I got somebody I
I
used to
mean,
be friends with that was never faithful to her husband ever, and
hmm,
he never knew.
yeah, I mean, well, women tend to hide it a little bit better too, but I mean, shoot, if he didn't know, then I ain't gonna say what's the harm. But if he didn't
Girl,
know, if he didn't know, he didn't know.
it's risky. You out there
It
having
is. I mean,
unprotected sex.
I don't want that. I mean,
You could be
did you
bringing
put your
him back something. You done
exactly
had
that too?
abortions behind this. You get it pregnant by somebody else. Your husband want a baby. You don't want to give him one, but you're letting Tom, Dick, and Harry shoot up the club, and now you got to get a backyard abortion. She didn't get no backyard abortion, but y'all know what I mean. I'm just talking my shit. So it's risky.
It's
It's
gonna
too
bite
many
her in the butt
outside
though.
factors when you're cheating.
Yeah,
And
it'll
I
bite.
don't know too
Eventually, it
many
catches up
motherfuckers
with
that's
you.
cheating with a condom. 'Cause who's having
No, they
sex with
don't.
condoms? Let's just call a spade a spade. I mean, I do.
Oh my
I keep
god.
a big box of Magnums. So when I am sexually active, I do use condoms, but who's really having sex with condoms?
A lot of people not. A
But
lot of people not.
since we not to deter what we were bitch, I don't even know if I'm using the right word. Not to get away with what we were talking about. I want to share this last thing, and then we can go ahead and call it a night. Fifi done already dinged us out. She trying to go shake her ass in the metaverse and stuff. So we want to be respectful of her time. Um, so I don't understand the reason why people cheat. I know it could be a plethora of reasons. It could be unhappiness. It could be them wanting to see if they still got it. It could be they are happy, but they're selfish or they're narcissists, and that's just what they do. They don't know how to be faithful. They're not honest. Whatever the case may be, I don't want no parts of it. I'm saying I don't
Right.
want no parts of this because a guy that I'm friends with, or I'm not even friends with the nigga anymore, but we used to talk. It didn't work. He hit me up a few weeks ago and he was just like, "Hey, how you doing? Blah blah blah. You still single?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still single." I'm like, "You still single?" He like, "Yeah." He like, "When can I see you?" Blah 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 blah. One of the reasons we didn't work is because I could never come to his place. So I asked him, I said, "Can I come to your place now?" He said, "Oh, I just moved and I got a roommate because I'm saving up for a house, blah 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 blah." I just whatever, entertain the conversation and then let it go, not taking it
Mhm.
serious. A few days ago, this had to be like 2, 3 days after my surgery. I get a call and it's from him. So I answer. We don't usually talk on the phone like we have before, but since we're not like active in each other's lives right now, it's weird for him to call me. But I
Mhm.
answered anyway because I knew who it was. And I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" He's like, "Hey, you remember the other day when we were texting?" I was like, yeah, what's up?" All of a sudden, I hear a bitch in the background. "He got caught. He lied. He got a woman. We live together, blah, blah, blah." And I'm just like, I said, first of
Damn.
all, don't call me with this shit. I don't care
And
if he
why?
got
I
caught or
mean,
not.
why is she
You
just
need to
yelling in the background?
it, no. What pisses me off is how many bitches is you about to call and still stay with this nigga? How many
Mm.
bitches is you about to call and still stay with this nigga, Cherry? So is it
Right.
really
Right.
gonna matter what he's doing at the end of the day? So I told him, I was like, you know
Mm.
what? Y'all got some shit y'all need to work out. Don't call my shit with this phone anymore. And then I was like, and you need to get off the dating site because I seen your goddamn ass on the dating site the other day swiping right, which I don't know if you was playing because you already got my number, but get off that goofy shit too. Like, what's the purpose of being in a relationship if you still gonna do your shit?
Yeah. I mean, and not only that, like from the woman perspective, her having him call these women to tell them whatever. Really, what is that gonna do? That don't do nothing.
Cherry, they do that though because this is not the first time it's happened. It's another guy that did this to me like 2 years ago. We
Mm.
were in on Instagram shooting the shit. I was flirting, he was flirting. Then we started talking about music, and I was like, I want to slide you some change so you can give me a few beats and mix and master my stuff. He like, cool. About 3 hours later, I get a video chat from him, and I answered. I'm like, "What's up?" He not saying nothing. He looking real stupid and goofy. I'm like, "What's up? Like, did you call me by accident?" Then all of a sudden, she grabbed the phone. "He got a bitch. I don't want you inboxing him anymore." I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, this is
Right.
something that happens.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
what be going
crazy.
on,
Because
but
this
check
the
your
thing.
nigga."
That's that's what I was gonna say. Even when I was with a serial cheater, I wasn't doing that. You know what? I mean, if anything, the flip happened and the woman called me. I told her, she called me early in the morning. I said, he over there with you. So you got the grand prize. But I appreciate you waking me up from work because I think I was gonna be late. But why are you calling me? He in the background, he like, you stupid. What you calling her for? You know what I mean? Like that for what? The connection is between me and the person. So why I'm about to trip on her? And not only that, oh, call every single girl and I want you to tell them. For what? All you gonna do is double back when you want to double back, and whoever gonna accept. He have to make the decision he want to be faithful, and that's that. Ain't no sense in me going to her. It's hoes on every corner. He gonna take the bait or not.
And I can honestly say that I'm gonna guess at this number, but I am confident in my guess. 75% of the time, we don't even be knowing that y'all in a relationship because y'all move like y'all
Yeah,
not in a relationship.
yeah,
Both
for
of those
sure.
instances with those dudes, I didn't
Yeah,
know that they had a woman. They
right.
they acting like they single.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
especially if a woman does not even know that you're in a relationship, how could you be mad at her?
right.
I don't fuck
Yeah,
around with shit like that because I don't want nobody doing it to me. The only
right.
time that I did that shit was with the last nigga that I was with. And I told you the reason why. We were together first. He started cheating on me with her.
Mm-hmm.
Then when he got with her, I was like, fuck that. And fuck you too, bitch. Because I'm about to still fuck this nigga. And she was a white bitch with white eyeliner. So I really didn't like her
Not
anyway.
white
But
eyeliner. Not white eyeliner. I was all right with her being white. I got a problem with the white eyeliner. I just slap you for that.
goofy bitch. You left me for that. Anyway. And we was still fucking the whole relationship even after they broke up. But anyway, that's our time for today. Thank you for letting us get on here and talk our shit, vent, play around, talk about some serious topics and some ones that aren't so serious. And it just felt good to be back and to get that shit off.
Yes, for sure. So bye everyone. Thank you for tuning in once again. Like, share, subscribe. Bye-bye.
Peace.